This conference will now be recorded.
So, hello all, good morning and good evening. Welcome to session two today, and we're gonna discuss still few more topics about Tosca. And just as a quick, I mean, review what we have done yesterday. So we just understood what is Tosca. Tosca is nothing but abbreviation for topology and orchestration specification for cloud application. And Tosca is developed by company called Tricentis Technology, and will be France Fussesberger is the one who invented Tosca. And why to use Tosca? There are lots of advantages by using Tosca, like Vision AI, test automation based models, and also risk based optimization, like and service visualization. You can also do the test data management, distributed execution, API scan, and mobile testing. All can be done. So that is why as there are so many advantages nowadays, all the clients are asking to go for Tosca. And coming to the career wise, yes, career wise also you can see that Tosca is having a very big trend, and it's making its path in this technology. Like in 2024, only 627 companies have started using this Tosca tool in their company. Like not only in the IT industry, they have also. Tosca is being widely used in other different platforms also, like cybersecurity, insurance, consulting. All these customers are going. So as the customers are going, the trends and the careers for Tosca also grows. And if you see, these are the different geographies, like in different countries, they started using Tosca, like United States, India, Germany, Australia, United Kingdom, and Netherlands. And these are the topmost companies for now. They are using Tosca, like IBM, Cognizant, Atos, and Tricentis, and all. Yeah, why suddenly Tosca has become so popular? Even there are so many tools like Selenium, because it has great risk coverage. It's like completely, you don't need to use any code. So if you have to write or develop any test case in Tosca, there is absolutely no scripting knowledge is needed. And also, all the manual testers are manual. If there are, if there is already a group of 6 to 7 manual testers in your project, it's easy for them to convert into the automation. Like just by taking 1 month of time, all can easily automate like n number of test cases, and they can be converted into automation testers. And we also have different mechanisms, different features like test management, TDS, distributed execution, because everything is integrated in Tosca. So that is the reason Tosca has become a very popular in this market. And it also supports most of the common technologies like Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, Java, HTML, and it also has a good vendor support. Yeah, so likewise, there are advantages, there are also disadvantages, like it cannot be compatible with Mac or Linux operating system. And Git versioning can also be not done with Tosca. And it's app paid too, so that is the main most of the this thing. And that's it that we have discussed today. Let's move on to the today. Yeah, if you see, these are the like more than 120 technology specific adapters are being used by Tosca. And these are the technologies that being used. And if you see, these are the main components that we'll be working on, like repository, commander, and system under test. Okay, we'll talk what is system under test. And so executor, like if you have Java, TCP, whatever is application that you are doing, based on that the executor is picked up, and method and engines, we'll see what all the things are. If you see, so this is a architecture of Tosca. Like there's a repository, and there's a commander, there's an executor. So test cases, modules, and all can be on your Tosca section. Okay, so this is a tool. Okay, So this is how the tool looks. And if you see, there are different sections like test case section, execution section, module section, requirement section, test case design section. Okay, so these are the different things you will be working on whenever you are in this training. Okay, so first we'll start with module section and then slowly move on to the test case section. And after we create test cases, we have to execute them somewhere, right? So that is where we execute our test cases. And once the execution is done, if at all, if you want to use any external data source, or you want to have a large set of test data, like multiple test data, so you can make use of this test case design section, and you can create n number of test sheets. And once you create a test sheet, you can slowly move on to your test cases, and then I'll show you how to do all those things. Okay, and then we'll move on to the requirement section. So in general, whenever you are doing manual testing, so the first thing what will happen, the first thing what happens is the requirements, and then you start creating your test cases. But in Tosca, it is other way around. You start with test cases, you sorry, start with modules, create test cases, do the execution, and if at all you want to use, you can use test case design while you're creating test case section, and then you come to the requirements. So how you do the requirements, how you map your requirements, and how what all the things you get. So how is this coverage specified, how is this execution status percentage updated, all these things you can get to. And you can also share a report to your project manager based on what all the requirements and what are the specifications that you have done. Okay, so even the reporting can be done from Tosca, whereas if you take another tool like Selenium or UFT, you cannot have reports generated, whereas in this tool you can also have the reports generated. Okay, am I sounding good or am I going fast?
Sounds great, ma'am. The repository commander. Will we get a version demo version as part of our course?
Yes, everything is same. So demo is not like it's only few features are available. Everything is available for you in the demo session.
Okay.
Like you can access the total tool, whatever you are seeing, the total tool can be accessed when you install Tosca.
Okay. Everything will be. Thank you.
Yeah, everything will be accessed.
So sweet of you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. If you see, so this is a Tosca server, right? So here you can see distributed execution. So I told you, right, you can set up your distributed execution. This is where you can monitor what are the different agents, what are the events and all. So you will get to understand what are the events and agents. And this is called TDS, Test Data Management. Here we whatever the results that are getting in your test cases, if at all, if you want to store it in any kind of repository, so this is a repository, you can create repository and all. So if at all your project is handling any license administration, so this license administration is where you will be playing around, like you have all the licenses stored here and available license, you will have all the server details and all here. And user administration console is where you can look around what is happening, what are the different test cases that are being run. Okay, it's taking some time. Let me get back. Okay, so these are the different, I mean, I'm still using the trial version, but still I'm able to access all these things. And if you see, this is how the test case is. And if you see my one of my test case, so this is my test case. So this is the test case. If you see, is there any code that I have written, and is there any? I mean, it looks very simple. It's not that complicated when you come to the other tools. Let me quickly run this and let us see how this works. So it logged into the application. It is clicking on this apparel and shoes, and it's trying to click on this blue jeans, and then it's trying to add some quantity to the cart, and then it's going to shopping cart. It is adding the details. It is adding the information, and then see, end-to-end execution has done. If you see, my execution status is also updated. So see, this is also updated, and all the steps were easily performed, and I could run all the steps. So this is how you can see, and this is how a test case looks when you are trying to run a test case. Okay. Okay, so let us jump into the next topic. Yeah. So, see, this is a Tricentis Tosca cycle. So, each and every section has a unique color. Like, so if you see the test case design, it should be in the, I mean, it will be in the red color. If you see the module section, it will be in the orange color. When you start building the test cases, it will be in the blue color. In the execution list, it will be in the green, and reports will be in the gray color, requirements in the yellowish color. Okay. So this is how annotation is. And then coming to this, how actually this Tosca works. So if at all, if you know how Selenium works, if you have any knowledge about Selenium, you have to build what you have to build. You have to build a framework. Anyone who has worked on Selenium.
Yes, ma'am. So Selenium RC, the record and playback, which is the just the record and playback, the just playback and record of web elements, or within Java console, or RC, which is like specific, has like a JavaScript interface, and you can auto script test cases, auto script test cases. Uh, so something like that is done, but Tosca is even better, ma'am.
Yes, it is even better. You don't need to write anything.
Uh,
It's very, very simple. Okay. There's only one part of the application you'll be seeing, like what is the main thing that you have to do. Then, so let us discuss few things about what Selenium has and what Tosca has. Okay. So if you see, Tosca is totally model based approach. Okay. So it's like you create a model, and then based on the model, you start creating the test cases. Okay. So if you see, this is a model-based approach, and this is a script-based approach. Like in the script, literally you have to write when, else, and all these statements have to be written. But whereas in the model-based approach, you just have to just select the inputs, or you have to give the inputs. Likewise, here I gave the inputs. Yeah, I just have to give the inputs, what has to be done on this. Automatically Tosca will only understand. So suppose I don't know whether here it is there in Selenium. If I have to write, if you have to do a click operation, you have to call the first parent object and then the child object, and then you have to click on that particular object. Whereas coming to the Tosca, you just write a click operation, and then Tosca will automatically understand, okay, I have to click on this particular operation. Okay, so that's how easy the Tosca is. Okay, so let us see few of the differences between Selenium and Tosca, and coming to the criteria, like type of application, Tosca supports almost all types of applications. Okay, uh, and coming to the Selenium, it only supports the web application. It will not even support desktop application. Yes, Tosca is a paid tool. Even if it is a paid tool, as it has lots of advantages and loads of in features inbuilt, so most of the clients are ready to take up Tosca. And Selenium is a free and open source software application. I'm not saying that Selenium is going down or Tosca is coming up. Each and everything has its own advantage and disadvantage. So suppose, yes, I myself being, I mean, I have worked with Selenium like almost like 7 8 years. After coming to Tosca, I felt like okay, relieved. There's no need for me to write on that lots of code and all. And if at all, if you have a fear of writing code, or there are few, I mean, few people where they don't want to write a code, they don't want to write that much length of code. If at all you are such a person, you can obviously choose for Tosca, because absolutely there's like zero lines of code you write. Yes, in Tosca, API testing is also possible. If you see, there's a separate tab for API testing. In the later stages of our class, we'll be seeing how to scan API testing and how to convert it into API testing. All those things will be discussed. And test data management, I've already shown you. There are, I mean, this is one way you can manage your test data, and also the other way is by using a TDS repository. So there are many ways how you can manage your test data, and it's internally built tool. It's like only in Toast only. But whereas in Selenium, it doesn't support any test data management. You have to, even in Toast, I mean, in Selenium, you have to store all your data in Excel sheet or PDF or in Notepad. Even in Tosca also, you can export whatever is there in your Excel sheet. That kind of flexibility is also there. But it's not that you have to rely only on your Excel sheet. There are different sections that you can rely on. Yeah, exploratory testing also can be done in Tosca, whereas in Selenium it is not possible. It supports any CI tools like Jenkins. You can also integrate your Tosca execution list with your Jenkins and do a continuous integration. And if your project has created a pipeline and you have to incorporate your test cases into your development cycle, you can always do it with the help of Jenkins and any other CI tools. Whereas Selenium, most it only supports like Jenkins most of the time. And QC Jira integration is also possible with Tosca. Suppose if you have integrated your test cases, I mean your execution list with your Jira or QC, what happens is ideally you have to, whereas where I mean if you are using Selenium or UFT or any other tool, you have to go manually update the status of each and every test case, even if it is automated. But coming to a Tosca, the even the status of your test case is directly updated once this execution list is run. Okay, what is this execution list and all, we will learn slowly. And yeah, Tricentis provides a dedicated support like tickets and charts. And Selenium is not possible. You have to do it your own research and development. Like you have to go into the Google and you have to search for your issue and get your doubts clarified. I guess yesterday I have told what kind of support they will give. Yes, I have done. Yeah, here in Tosca, there is no specific framework that you have to do. All of whatever you are doing is based on the model that you identify. So that model is the main heart of the Tosca. Whereas in Selenium, yes, you have to have a unique framework like test data driven or any other data driven, or what are the other things? I'm not sure. So likewise, you have to build a framework. So base framework is nothing but like how your project has to work. So that is all about frameworks. So how your project works all depends upon the framework that you design. So in Tosca, it's all about model. Okay, we only talk about what is a model, and based on the model, you start creating your test cases. Yeah, here you have a concept of libraries, creation of libraries. If you see here, I have created one library. So you can store what all the different test steps that are being that are being that are being reused, and what all the things that you want to store it for future. All those things can be stored in this library and you can use it. Whereas in Selenium, I don't think there's a concept of libraries. And reporting, yes, I told, right, there's an inbuilt tool. So if you see, go here on the tools and sorry, an execution list here. If you see, you can generate a report. So here you can see a print report option. So you can print a report based on what is the execution list, and you can show it to your client or customer, anyone. Okay. And execution time also for Tosca is more compared to other tools. Okay. It's very fast compared to Selenium. Okay. So any questions? So yes, I know it's been most of the theory based. Yeah, you have to bear with me for next 2 to 3 days. So I just want to incorporate few of the terminologies of Tosca into your mind, and then we slowly start our, I mean, working on the tool. Okay. So any questions still here?
Ma'am, just a quick question. The difference between the framework and an object library. What is an object library?
Yeah, Tejas, we'll see it slowly. Okay, so you'll get to understand. So first, try to get the terminologies into your mind.
Uh-huh.
Slowly, in the next 2 to 3 classes, you will understand what is a model based and what is a framework. Okay.
Oh, and then the model. When you say like a model, ma'am, like I think like supermodels and stuff. So like the what is like an object? Like what is like a model? Is it saying that a model is like a shape or a
No,
form?
no, it's not about shape or the phone, but it's about the application and how your test case has to believe. Okay. You'll understand, Tejas. Just understand that Tosca works on this model based framework. So slowly when we start the actual classes, right, then I'll clearly explain you what is the difference between a framework and the model based. Okay, just I want to you to get acquainted with this all this terminology slowly, and then we start it.
Sounds good, man. It just like I'm used to writing test cases manually. I wrote a lot of test cases, but it takes so long to write each step specifically. Open the login, then after the open the login, click on this twice. Does the click button work? If the click button is a failure, it fails execution, then what do you do? Steps to recreate. So things of that nature, like Tosca will automatically overcome using the model or script based
Yes,
modeling.
yes, yes. There's
Oh,
no need. Suppose if you said, right, you have written lot of manual test cases, right?
mhm.
So in that scenario, like you must have observed that there are lots of steps that being. I mean, like in the first step, I mean, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one scenario. So if you see this, so suppose I want to start writing the test cases for login functionality, right? So first thing is I have to check the first test case will be this page is getting loaded or not, okay? And the second step, once the page is loaded, I'll randomly check whether these things are getting populated or not. And the third step, after I click on login, it should be navigated to this login link where the email and password. So if you see, most of the time you are playing around this only this demo web shop and you are working on this particular page, right? So this page is what you get it into your Tosca so that Tosca will interact with this page and perform more of the actions. Okay. So such a way, like there are repeated actions that are there in your Tosca. I mean, so in your test cases, I mean, absolutely, like there is no need for you to each and every test case you have to get this object. I mean, they get these objects onto your Tosca and interact with it. So once you did it, done. You can reuse it multiple n number of times.
Oh wow, excellent. So the same specific test case, you could do positive, negative boundary value testing as well.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh
positive,
sweet.
negative, whatever might be the scenario. Once you get the model, done. It's done. And then, like, you can start developing n number of test cases with the help of that what you have created.
Oh, really cool modeling. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yes, I would request everyone just to launch and start registering to this. So I have told you we have discussed about one. So SUT, right? So SUT is nothing but system under test. Okay, whatever is the application that you will be doing in this course, I will just drop in this demo web shop that register page. So just go and fill up this form and try to register. Okay, so this will be helpful in the later stages of our classes, because this is application will be logging in and logging out. So registration is one time thing. And I would request whatever the email and password that you have given, just keep it somewhere in your machine so that it will be used in the later parts of the class. Okay. I hope everyone is doing this registration process. Please let me know once it is done. Okay. Done, 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 done.
Ma'am, something about the time left. Time left is running down.
Yeah, yeah, I just put the time. I just want to put
Oh, sweet ma'am. Thank you.
okay. And yes, so today what you have to do is just, it's just hardly like takes 5 to 10 minutes of your time after class. Just go around this demo web application, see how things are happening, what is happening when you click on the shopping cart. So how are you able to click? I mean, just a functional overview. I want you to go through. So I can explain. I can take like 5 minutes of time and I explain. It's not about I explain, you listen. You say. I mean, you work and you come back with the doubts, and then I will explain all that. Okay. So just I would just ask you to navigate between each and everything and try adding some of the carts, some of the things in the add to cart and see shopping cart is working, all those things. Okay. So so that in the next class you can understand, and then we can, once we start developing the test case, you will get hold of this functional, like you do a normal functional testing and come back and say, okay ma'am, I know this functionality. Okay. So that's how I work generally. Okay. So we have understood SUT. So now, yeah. So this is a system under test. So what happens is generally we have to, so now if I have to perform something on this particular right, so I have to click on this login. So all these components or all this information should be stored somewhere in your Tosca, so that whenever you perform some action in your test case, so Tosca will understand, okay, I have to interact with this particular element, I have to write something on this text box, I have to click on this particular element. So that kind of knowledge Tosca has. You just have to give the information, like which URL it has to work on, and what are the components that you have to work on. So all this, like, you are literally storing the technical information of this particular page onto your Tosca, and then once you save the technical information, then you pass that information, like what needs to be performed and what. Suppose I have stored the technical information of login in my module. Okay. So module, then in the test case I'd say, okay, on this particular login, whatever you have stored, just go and click on it. Okay, so if you see here on my test case, so if you see on my test case, I was clicking on this apparel and shoes. So how was it possible clicking on this apparel shoes? I would have somewhere stored this technical information. Like in Selenium, you would have call your page object module. First you call your page, and then you call your particular application, demo web shop application, and then you click on, you call this particular element like login, and then you start. If you have written descriptive programming, this is how you would have written a code. Okay, and then you call this login, and then you say dot click. Okay, so that is how you might have done. But whereas in Tosca, you will save all the technical information here in the module section. Okay, let me show you a sample module. We'll see this. So if you see, this is a module. So where I have stored all the technical information like register button, login, shopping cart, and wishing list. Okay, so these all the components that are on the top of your page, I have stored all this technical information in the form of a module. Okay, so then once I save everything here, I just have to go simply drag and drop this onto my test case. Okay, let me simply create a small test case. Okay, so this is called as creation of test case. We will see in the later stages. Don't worry about it. So here I have stored all the module. So module is nothing but the technical information. What are you storing in the Tosca? What I do, I simply drag it and drop it onto my test case, and it is ready for me to run. So suppose I have to click on this login link. So let me just say click, and let me load it here. So if you see, this page is different from login page. So there are components that are different. Okay. So let me just quickly run this and you will see what happens. You see your cursor moving there and clicking on the login. Okay. So this is how my module plays a very module is the main, I would say this is the heart of your test case. Okay, so whatever you're going to perform in any of the other tabs in your Tosca, so this will be the heart. Okay, so here is where you save all the technical information. So once you save the technical information, automatically Tosca will only segregate between the links, text boxes, checkbox, and buttons. Okay, so that is what we will see in the later stages. So now what we did, I just saved a technical information. Like I said, I just saved all the information whatever is here onto my module, so that when I start using in my test case, I can simply say go and click. Okay, so what is this click is nothing but the information that I'm providing to the Tosca, saying that this is what the action that you have to perform on, this is what you have to do on this particular element. So what happens in the back end, Tosca will go and look for this particular page. So this page is open up, and then it will go and search for this particular element because it has to perform some action. So once it will go in the back end, it will go and click on this particular value. So it will search for this particular value. Once it finds this particular value, it will go and check what is the value that it has to do. So it's just a click operation that I have given. So it simply go and it simply clicks on this particular thing. Okay, clear
Ma'am,
till
one
here?
quick question.
Yeah,
Hello.
please. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
please
so
go ahead.
you are storing somewhere this register login this link like in Selenium, like we are storing some export to locate that particular element. So how it is dealing here? Can you just little bit uh, high level
Yeah,
let me
we will
say
see.
how?
We'll see it slowly. I'm about to tell the next step. Okay.
Okay.
Just bear with me. Okay.
Okay.
So first, my
Now,
concept is yes, you are saving some information on your technical information onto your module section, and then you are using in a test case. So how are we doing this? How are we getting all these modules onto? I mean, how are we getting all these things onto your module section? Is what we will discuss in the next step. Okay.
yeah, even I just have one more question regarding that. The login page actually it's, taking some time duration to go and click. So, are we going to set any where that the time duration, like this much, seconds we have to go and click on that login, or in during the Selenium, I think there will be some
Yes.
time settings here. So,
Yeah, we will discuss everything. Like it's like whatever you are asking is like little advanced. See, there
okay,
are people who have no scripting knowledge or they just came from manual testing. So I have to make them
understood.
understand. So you have to just please bear with me. I'll tell each and
Sure,
every
sure.
concept. Whatever you are. I have noted
Mm.
your point, but your question will be answered later, like in next 2 or 3 days. Okay. Till
Thank you
then
very
you
much.
have to
Yep.
wait. Yes, we'll be
Yeah, thank
handling all those things. Everything, whatever is handled more than Selenium, we are handling it in Tosca.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, okay. So, others, did you understand what I was trying to explain? So, I was storing some information. So, whatever page I have to interact with, that I'm saving it in my module section module section in the Tosca, and then I'm using it in the test case section. Now the question comes: how are we storing this information in this module section? Okay. So what I have to do is whatever is the page. Okay. Suppose. Okay, let me go with the basic application law. What is it? Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. So if you see now, I want to insert my some name and password here, and then I have to click. So my Tosca has to interact with this application so that only then I can enter some information here. Okay, for that, what I will do, I'll simply go to the module section, right click on right click on this modules. Okay, and there's an option called scan application. Okay, so I will scan the application. Okay, so what happens now in the back end, my Tosca will start interacting with that application whatever I have opened. So now it will ask which application I have to interact here. Whatever might be your application, it might be Salesforce, it might be SAP, it might be mobile. You can select whatever might be the application and just click on scan. If you see all the elements, whatever you are seeing here in the back end, I could see here. Okay. Suppose this is where you want to insert some value. So if you see, let me highlight this. So this is what is that I'm getting here. And if you want to see the next button, so whatever is this is the next button. Okay. So what I do is I simply go and select this checkbox, and I just want to click on create account. I just click on create account, and here I have to give the name called Yahoo, and I just click on save it. And if you see, a module saved successfully has come up. I just close this and go to the Tosca. If you see, a name called Yahoo is created, and username next and create account. All the elements, whatever I have selected in the checkbox, I got it here. Okay. So now if I want to use it on my test case, I simply go and drag and drop it onto my test case. A test case is created. So whatever the action that you have to perform. Suppose I have to insert something, and I just have to click on next button, or I'll do one thing. I'll just remove this. and I want to do some create account. I just click on this, and then so now what happens? Whatever the based on the technical information it is stored, it will go and it will check. Okay, Yahoo page, and I have to click on this create account button. Okay, so it will go and try to interact with that, and it will open that particular page. And if you see on my desktop, this create account page has been opened. Okay. I hope I have answered your question. Yes, there's a lot more to learn about module creation. It's a sample thing that I've showed you just to get an understanding how to save the technical information. But once everyone has the tool installed in your machine, you'll slowly understand how to grab the technical information. There are different ways and different methods that you have to use to grab the technical information. Okay, so this is a
Ma'am,
basic.
uh, uh, ma'am, may I ask a question? Ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, if you were to use like a commander, so can you use the commander to um uh, uh use the commander to do same web elements or capture the technical elements, just like you mentioned?
Yeah, see, this is a commander what we are working. Okay, so this whatever will be working is a commander, Tosca commander. Okay, Tosca commander is a place where we develop our test cases, where we grab the technical information, where we execute the test cases. Okay, so this commander will interact with this application, whatever we have selected when we scan this. So I told right, I when I scan this application, so So here it will ask which application. So when I click on this particular application, it will start going and interacting with that particular application. Okay. And then it will grab all the elements. So I just have to click. So in the backend, what is happening is it is trying to get all the properties or all the architecture, how this particular page is developed. Okay.
Wow. Including like the spacing elements, ma'am, like pixelation of how many pixels it's taking, the that login is
Yes.
taking. Whoa.
Yes. Everything it will get. So if you see, this is a image. So this is an image. Even the images can be get. So this is a drop down, and this is a password. This is a show button. So everything it will just simply grab it. You just have to use them. That's it.
Ma'am, what about data elements? Like if you were to use data elements like where like metadata, then what happens? Like if you have like if it's data warehouse, if it's SQL developer, or or you're it's a you're moving math like big data like Hadoop data, then does the testing remain the same and on the back end as well?
No, no, no. For backend, there are some inbuilt modules. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So there are
So
some already existing modules that can interact directly. There is no need for you to go and again, get everything. So there are standard modules, like these are the standard modules. Tomorrow we will see what are the different standard modules. Okay. So based on the already present modules, you can interact with whatever you are telling, right? Different servers and different everything like mobile, SAP, Excel, PDF, everything. Okay.
well, including the APIs to other
No,
applications. Like,
APIs is again a different set. Okay, you have to scan your API, you have to load your API.
and so, for example, to multiple connectors to, say, for example, Salesforce to Tableau. Even though it's the same, like you need to have a scanner or something like that.
Yes, yes, it is same.
Awesome. So wonderful of you, man. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, for standard things, there are already, I mean, Tosca has told, okay, don't worry, no need for you to scan each and every application. You
Mm,
can use some of the standard modules that I've already given it to you, okay? So it's like ready to eat thing. There's already, I mean, few things like you can go simply grab it and start eating it. But if at all in applications that it's specific only for your application, then you have to start getting the technical information onto your Tosca so
mm.
that you can start developing your test case.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, the to the, uh, part and parcel of that, is to make sure that like an application application development to something like SAP Fi or SAP Co can also be tested using the elements like web to order costing controlling modules like that, right, ma'am?
Yes, yes, correct, exactly.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So, any other
So,
questions
hi
till
Manisha,
now? So,
one question.
yeah, Vamshi, please
Yeah,
go.
hi Manisha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Selenium, we have a concept called assertion. So where we can compare actual and expected text any element, right? So do you
Yes.
have such concept in Tosca? Once we launch,
Yes, yes.
means once we are, yeah,
Yes, everything is there. Whatever is there in Selenium, I told you, right? More than what is Selenium has developed. Tosca also has all each and every concept. Might not be with the same name, but you can relate with the concepts whatever explaining. Okay. So those all things will come when we start developing our test cases. Okay. So we are still in the module section. We are not yet in the test case section. So first, I mean, like first 1 week or first 4 to 5 days will be only talking about this modules, how to grab the technical information. There are different ways you have to grab the technical information. All those things we will start, and then we slowly move on to the test cases where all your questions will be answered, like how to put the time weight, like if the application time is different and your Tosca automation tool is different, I mean, time loading time is different. So how to handle it and how to compare whatever is coming and whatever is expected. All those things will be explained when you are in a Tosca test, I mean test case section.
thank you.
Yeah. So till now, understood how the basic of this Tosca works. Like there's a basic thing you have to get it in your mind. Then slowly we will move on to the test case modules and then test cases and all.
Ma'am, how did that Frederick guy, the Newhouser, how did he develop Tosca, ma'am? Like, how did he come up with the idea originally?
You have to do some research in
I'm
coding.
thinking, like, he didn't like he just like magically like just came up with such wonderful
No,
tools,
no,
like so wonderful.
no, it's not a magic, but he was using this topology orchestration methodology in previous, like whatever he was doing it. So this, I mean, the name itself, like topology orchestration itself, says whatever is happening inside the Tosca. You have to do some dig up on how he has developed. Okay, it's a long story.
Ma'am, I don't know what comes after A, B, C or something. I don't know how are you gonna know topology, ma'am? What is like topology?
Yeah, you just go and do a small research. Tomorrow we'll discuss about this.
That's so sweet. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to directly give the information directly put on your head because it won't go anywhere. If you do some research and come back and ask questions, then it will sit in your mind and you can save it for future.
Absolutely. 100%. 100% appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions?
Ma'am, one more question. We talked about what the framework is. Is there something about the framework which is which the framework stores all the data in the repository from commander to repository and then to the repository to the wizard?
Sorry, Tejas, can you repeat your question, please?
Like for example, from and all the data is stored the data is stored in the repository itself.
Yes, it's in a project itself.
Okay, and so it works like an orchestra, like Mozart, like Beethoven or something, where all of them work together, like Rahman.
Correct, correct.
Oh, so that's cool.
Okay, so if no questions from any other people, we can wind up. So this is what I have planned for today. In tomorrow's session, we will learn a little more about these modules. Okay, so even while developing a test case, right, you'll not be directly. I mean, first you will be giving all the static data. Mm, I don't know whether you know what is static data. Let me quickly open. So the level of test case creation, how you start creating a test cases. First, give all the values here in the value section, and slowly you will understand how to not give the value rather than give it from. I mean, pass the information from somewhere else. Like you don't parameterize the data. Okay, first we give the parameterized data, and slowly we convert our test case, not giving the data from here and parameterization. So if you see here, I'm not giving any data, I'm just parameterizing however I want. Okay. So this is how you start. I mean, this is the level of the test case creation. Slowly, first you start giving like first 5 to 10 cases, you start giving test data like this, and slowly you move on to this, like only you pass one test data here and then you parameterize it, and then slow after that you don't even send test data from here, you just parameterize data here. Okay, how parameterization happens, everything you'll understand once you start building your test cases. Okay. Yes, so that's it I have for today. If we have no questions, we can wind up today's session.
Ma'am, last question. The application to the all the data goes from application to script or script to application.
Yes, correct.
So it doesn't matter if it's form data, if it's form data versus like a content delivery, if we're watching a movie on Netflix or Amazon, that it doesn't matter what's being hosted on that site, whether it's a movie or if it's forms, no matter what, it'll test like scrubs. Like you go to 50 to minute 59 60 minute 59 of the movie, and then pause it, and then if you take a snapshot, it can do all of that.
Yeah, that kind of testing is not what we are doing here. We are only, I mean, concentrating on this web application, like how to click on different elements, how to log in, and how to give the information on this login. So this is what we are doing. So whatever you are telling, yes, that can also be handled in those.
Oh, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, I totally appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for your time, and
Yeah.
being so patient answering questions. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so
So
much for
I have one.
attending
So
to this.
can we? Yeah. So
Yes,
just
please
one
go ahead.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no
So
problem.
can
Go
we
ahead.
integrate? Can we integrate Selenium with Tosca? So
Yes, we
is
can
that
integrate Selenium with Tosca. Selenium scripts can be run from Tosca. If you see, there's a standard module. There should be some Selenium. Are you able to see somewhere? Someone. I don't think I have imported here, but there is a standard module where you can load your Selenium scripts and run all your Selenium scripts, whatever are there in your Tosca, and then just run them from Tosca itself. problem. Any other questions that I have to answer? If no, thank you so much for attending section 2 of Tosca. Yes, we will have a wonderful journey ahead. Thank you and have a very nice day ahead. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.